All right. We are live here, NashvilleLou live. Velvis N, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. NashvilleLou live is on the air. Blitz-008, episode 8 of Warsaken Blitz. Hello, hello. All right, we'll get things going here in just a second. Take a quick look out of the gate here, what is on the prize wheel tonight. Prize wheel presented in part on my land in Alien Worlds in Neary 3616. Take a look here, lot carried over from the last time. At Loot Pack, you can't get it anymore with loot. They sold out this morning. I knew that before I went to sleep. I needed to get everything that I could as far as those loot packs went, between that and the premiums. You could tell it was closing time. So they've sold out, so you can either go to the secondary market or you can beat me, get a spin on the wheel, and you'll have a 1 in 50 shot at that loot pack. Also a first wave upgrade card. I've got 2 epics out here. My Saki Sanctuary. I've got several ultra rares, whole bunch of super rares, and then 10 very rares. So a pretty robust selection there on the Warsaken prize wheel. That should be good. And we'll go ahead and get this matchup going here in just a second. If you could, please provide me with a connect code. Since I've tried it with me providing with the viewers that I'm playing against, providing the code, and it works so much better the way my setup is here with my particular system and the 2 computers that I've got set up here. So if you could, please, that would be appreciated. Yeah, if you could please send a code, like the connect code for Warsaken. Let me pull this up. Gotta make sure I do this in the right order, and technical directing is not my strong suit necessarily. Yeah, if you could provide me with a match join code. Yes, please. All right, thank you. Go ahead and type that in right now. We'll get things started. All right, here we go.
Warsaken.
Sure, Musical Man. Feel free. Go ahead and just hit exclamation point, join there in chat. You can be the next one up. That'd be great. Just getting started here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take a mulligan here. I'm not a fan of having 3 buildings out of 8 for starters. That's 2 I normally won't go with. 3, unless I have something really good, and I don't here. So I'll take a mulligan. So with a mulligan... Now this is interesting. Just the 1 building, nothing that matches though. I'm gonna take my chance with a second mulligan. I don't like doing this, but I'm gonna try it here. And my opponent goes first. So we do have those 2 that match. Go ahead, or maybe I go first and wait for my opponent to, to decide over there. Okay, so I rolled a 2. I have 2 actions for this turn. After seeing this in the last stream, I had to get it. A Revenge Super Carrier? Are you kidding me? Okay. So I like to debut the Revenge Super Carrier. Double right there, and that's the end of my turn. Yeah, I've got the, what is it called? The Play with Viewers extension. That has worked out really well for me. So it's a pair of weather cards and then a second standalone weather for my opponent. My turn. Roll to 3. Okay. So I have the pair of Revenges out there. I will play these 2 Blinding Sandstorms. And then one more action to go for this turn. Now we'll play Fire in the Fields. Hey, Rexinator, hello. Got a 1/1 blood foil. That is awesome, man. So for the prize wheel tonight, still got that loot pack on there. Have a pair of epics. I believe it's 6 or 7 ultra rares. A bunch of super rares. And 10 very rares. So should be a good prize selection out there. Or maybe it's 6 ultra rares and then one of them was the I showed it before. The one that I got in the pack that I opened. Okay, roll a 4 for my opponent. Was that your second blood foil 1/1 or second blood foil overall? I don't have any of those 1/1s. Those are some nice ones. Okay. Well, tricky spot here since I don't have anything to make 3 of a kind out there. I can play another Fire in the Fields. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. As much as I don't like to do it, I think I'm gonna have to forego the last 3 actions of the turn. I really, really dislike filling up that 4th spot out there in my war zone. So I'm going to end the turn there. This is Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou Live. I'm your host, Lou Pickney, with you here. Saturday night Nashville time, already Sunday for a lot of the rest of the world. And look at all that weather out there. 4 wide, 2 deep. But it's my turn, roll the 3. So I can play 3 of a kind of weather cards. And when that happens in Blitz, you have the option of either taking 3 additional actions for that turn, which every now and then you might need to do strategically, but my preference usually is taking that +1 turn. 2 more to go for this round. That opens up a spot there in my war zone, so I'll go ahead and play a pair of Romans prototypes. And then you saw I played the weather card there. Thanks to that +1 turn, I get another roll. 3. Okay, well, that's a good time to keep on rolling. Let's play another weather card. Extra turn. 2 more actions for this turn. Got a pair of L1 needles I can go ahead and play. And I get to roll again. 4. Okay. So that's why I like to keep that 4th spot open every now and then. And it would have worked out the other way if I hadn't had it open for this turn. But in general, it's nice to play this WMD, the captured leader. WMD, you can play only 1 per match. It takes out 2 of your opponent's territories. So the farmlands, and I misclicked. And the oil fields, out. Hello, GA80X. Hello, hello. All right, so I have 1 more action, which worked out quite well with a Revenge Super Carrier. What a name.
Select target.
And we'll go for the Fermi energy plants. That's it for my turn. Remember, my opponent's got a bunch of weather cards out there. They rolled a 5. And for as long as my turn went there, this could go even longer potentially. There's 1 weather, so +1 turn. There's 3 of a kind with a force. A force will take out 1 of my territories. Yeah, my turn to wait. But that's the nice thing with Warsaken Blitz, is that it does allow you some time where you can chat and talk with people. without losing track of what's going on in the game. So 2 actions to go here for this turn. There's 3 of a kind for the weather, so another 1-up like it's Super Mario Brothers. 1 action to go. There's 2 of a kind there for that force. There's a roll of a 3. Well, they took the 3 for the action, I guess, as opposed to taking the extra turn. That doesn't bode well for me. Uh-oh. So the force takes out second territory. I'm down to 2. 2 actions to go for this turn. And now finally comes to me. There's a building card. Building card lets you pull back from your discard pile. Potentially. 3. Okay, so nothing to match what's out there. Not all that interested in a building card at this point. We'll play the hacked networks. And I'll leave that 4th spot open there, so I'll forego that last action there for this turn and end my turn. 4. And remember, there's still 2 sets of 2 with the weather cards out there. There's 1 of them, so that's +1 turn for my opponent. Oh yeah, I knew what you meant there, Musical Man. Yeah, and that's, I mean, what you said is exactly what happened. A lot of +1 turns there. So the building card used there. And then 2 weathers. And a roll of a 5. So another +1 as far as the turns go, unless they opt to take the extra 3 actions. Again, there are sometimes where you want to do that. Look out. WMD. Compromising my leader.
Compromised.
There's 1 action card. A roll of 2 for my opponent. If they've got 2 more of those, of the set action card, that force card. Actions are the plays you make in a given turn. There's 2 of a kind there with that force. And then 1 of another. Look at those. Nice looking cards over there. My turn. 6. Okay, let's see what we can do here with a 6. Well, plenty of building card options. Play the Romans prototype.
Select target.
Then I'll take out the 4th and final territory for my opponent.
Compromised.
So, a little tricky here, because I can use the building cards to go back and get a force, but I'm going to be 1 shy as far as my turns go. Unless I can go back for a weather, or even a weather, I wouldn't be able to match anything that's out there right now. I've got 2. It'd be great to get a 3rd needle there, but building lets you go into your discard pile, not into your arsenal, your deck, which is where the cards I'm looking for are hiding right now. So I'll have to go ahead and make the best of it here. I'll play 3 of a kind with a guard tower. I could have used the soldier barracks. In this case, they serve the exact same purpose. That's within Blitz. It simplifies it. Again, your arsenal, your deck. If somebody's trying to mill your arsenal, trying to get it down to 0 to compromise your leader, that can come in handy. It has for me before. But here I'll return 3 to my hand. And the problem is, if I can, 2 of a kind with a weather isn't going to, that's not going to help me at this point. Because I can only play 2. I'm not going to get that extra turn. So I'll go ahead and get the 3 of a kind with the Romans. And I'll play, you know, that's where if I would have rolled a 6 instead of a 5, that kind of thing would have been 1 extra turn would have been nice, but that's not the way it worked out. So I'll play 2 of them. And I'll end my turn. It just takes 1 of those matching up for my opponent to beat me here. Let's see. A roll of 1. Okay. 3 of a kind for the weather. And a roll of a 4. So this might be it here for me. Remember, it has to be force cards, 3 of a kind. That's what they have.
Leader eliminated. Defeated.
All right, congratulations. If you would, please let me know the wax address to send this to. And we'll get the prize wheel going here right now. Last weather. That worked out. Congrats. We'll go ahead and type this here in chat first. Congrats. Good game. What address for the prize? I type in broken English here in the chat due to time constraints. So, okay. Bring the slate up for just a moment. And we're going to take a look at the prize wheel. Showed that from the start of the broadcast, but a lot of you came in after that, so I don't have the... okay, here's the one thing I wasn't able to do from last time that I wanted to, was finding this wax bot or whatever. I tried looking up wax in Twitch, and they were not talking about NFTs. So I was like, whoa, okay, what in the world? This is like, you know, grooming on camera. No, not at all what I'm looking for here. So anyway, point is to the wax bot. There you go. Thank you. Got that. I have to remember not to try and do the copy-paste thing from within the chat in OBS Studio because it doesn't tend to cooperate as much. But so I don't know with the wax, is it something? This is where some of my inexperience when it comes to Twitch might show. As far as with some of that stuff. Like with the terms used, because it's the robot or the bot or whatever. I want to call it a plug-in or whatever, but it's anyway. We'll get the wheel pulled up here. I've got this. Okay. Extension, that's the word. Okay. So we'll give it a few shuffles here before the spin, but a quick look here. So you got a loot pack, the first wave upgrade. That has been added. So I've got 2 epics up there. The Warsaken and the Sanctuary. Bunch of ultra rares. A whole lot of super rares, and then some very rare. So pretty nice little selection there. 2 shuffles. Okay. 1, 2. 2 shuffles. And here we go. Good luck. All right. Super rare S7X detection disruptor number 462. All right, it'll take a moment for me to write all of that down. As much as it is convenient in some ways to have it where my computer for my broadcasting is different than the computer for gaming, there are some parts of this where it's a little bit cumbersome, but that's just part of it. So, got that. I'm going to go ahead and transfer it to you right now, and I'm kicking myself because I told myself to make sure to log into my... Oh, there's always that extra little something when it comes to live broadcast. I've got to put a checklist together. To make sure I remember to log into everything to make it even quicker when it comes to getting stuff sent out. There we go. Okay. And I'll pull it up here on the stream in just a moment once it's... sent over to you. I'm able to do that right now, right away. So that's number 462. It is super rare. I'm going to double check here because that's one thing when it comes to the blockchain. It's not much for giving you second chances or redos. So let's see. Memo. NashvilleLou live. Prize. And then today's date. It is the detection disruptor. Getting that sent over to you right now. In just a moment here, we'll pull it up on stream. Give everybody a look at what you want. Oh, I did it in the wrong order. The technical directing is going to be a challenge here. Until I get this down just a little bit better. Okay. And then I pulled up the wrong thing anyway, so, of course. Okay. There we go. All right. So there it is, the D7X detection disruptor. Number 462 is yours. So congratulations. Yeah, feel free. I'm going to go ahead and bring the slate back up as soon as I get the... I keep doing this stuff out of order. Oh my goodness. I'll get it down eventually. There we go. So yeah, I'll go ahead now and chat. There. Okay, so Delvis N is out there, so you can feel free to go ahead and rejoin now. And there, excellent. So you're in the queue. All right, Musical Man 00, if you're here, you could please provide a code. And again, I know a lot of other streamers do it the other way, but I assure you this works better with the way I've got it set up. So I appreciate y'all being cooperative with me on that. We'll give Musical Man just a moment. If there we go, yeah. Again, I don't want to like fly by somebody who's been waiting to play. So I do appreciate you giving me the code there. All right.
Warsaken.
All right, here we go. All right. This is Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou live. So not a particularly great draw here. 2 building cards, nothing that matches here. So we'll take a mulligan. Even worse, 3 building cards. Second mulligan. At least I get to go first. We'll see what I have here. As I roll a 3, I got at least a pair of tanks. A pair of Terrifying Storms. We'll play the Terrifying Storms with 2 of the actions, and the third we'll roll out this W1 MG tank. It's a roll of 4 for my opponent. There's 3 of a kind. Musical Man taking out 2 of my 4 territories right out of the gate. You can play 1 WMD per match in Warsaken Blitz. My usual preference is to have 2 sets of 4 of those. And there's 1 force card for my opponent. Now it's my turn. 4. All right, we'll play the second tank. We've got spot to play. A spot to play another pair. We'll put the intels out there with the architectural plans. And I have 1 action to go, but I'll keep that 4th spot in my war zone open. And I'll end my turn. Hey, Natha CGA, hello, hello. Alright, so a pair of force cards and then a standalone force card opposite me. Roll a 2. Oh, this is not good. Nothing matches what's out there. Want to keep that 4th spot open. I would feel really dodgy about playing that right now anyway, especially not having a 3rd ready to go, let alone filling up that spot. So as much as I don't like to just leave actions unused, and this turn I'll have to. So it's a roll of 3 by my opponent. So it's 3 sets of 2 opposite me. My opponent's war zone. A lot of forces. I only have 2 territories left. 4. Okay, what do we have? Oh. Oh, brutal. Oh, this is going to be one of those matches. It already is. Oh, my. I mean, the question would be, I don't think it's worth the effort to pull something up to put a force in when there's not even a single territory taken out yet. So as bad as it is not using 2 actions in that last turn and just foregoing them, I'm going to forego 4 here. And that's just how it's going to have to be. Hey there. Ivanov 007. Hello. All right, there's 3 of a kind. That force, I'm down to 1 territory. So again, it's 3 sets of 2 with those actions staring me down and only 1 territory left. 2. Okay. So we got 3 of a kind with the W1 MG tanks. So I can take out at least 1 territory.
Select target.
Look at that Sanctuary Tenant. It's a nice card. So it's 3 territories remaining for my opponent. I only have 1 action to use for this turn. I mean, I've got these 3 of a kind right here, but I don't even know if it's worth to go back to get 3 of a kind of a force. I mean, I could, but I think it makes more sense to get actual force in place with this 1 action. And that's it for my turn. Roll of 6 for my opponent. This could be it. They just need to make matches with 2 of those 3 duos of forces out there. There's 1 trio.
Leader compromised.
I'm up against it. Look at this. That's 2. 1 more, and that's the match. But that's it for this turn. Hanging on, but just barely. Let's see. Let's get a good roll here, huh? 3. I mean, it feels silly to do this in some ways because, but I'll go ahead and let's do it. Okay, we'll play the interrogation facilities. We'll get the action cards. Bring back the tanks. Doesn't matter which one. I just misclicked the first time there. That red side button there lets you get them all at once. Okay, but I may not ever get a chance to use the tanks. But we'll see. That was a roll of 1 for my opponent. If any of those matches up with a 3 of a kind, that's going to be it. Even if it does, and I'm still very much up against it. But it's my turn. 4. Okay. Maybe this will buy me a turn. 3 of a kind for the intel. I'm going to bounce 3 cards, 1 of each with the forces that are out there.
Target.
I don't have to worry about WMDs at this point. You don't have any territory? No worries about WMDs. So we're just going to bounce one of each.
Select target.
Be careful of this, not to click on that red one right there. Don't do that. I go with a bounce.
Select target.
You only hit that red if you want to get all of them out of there. She's a sneaky one. Okay. So I have 3. Go ahead and play the trio of Romans prototypes here.
Select target.
You never say never in Warsaken Blitz. So my opponent's down to 2 territories, roll of 2. Remember, I used that intel to get rid of those matching cards for each of the 3 out there and the Legion from in my opponent's war zone. There's 2 of a kind. But I get one more roll. I was not expecting to make it this long. Let's see. 6. Uh-oh. Okay. I'm going to play a weather. But you have to be smart about it in this situation. Think, okay, what do I already have out there? The 2 terrifying storms. I intended to go through and make sure my terrifying storms and violent tornadoes weren't in the same deck for this very reason, but I didn't get to it. But it's a good illustration of why you have to be somewhat careful in this. But say, okay, don't be rash about it. Just because the cards are dancing doesn't mean the art, for sure the best decision. I'm gonna take the, well, let's see, yeah, take the extra turn. Now I play the violent tornado. I'm going to get a second extra turn. I really need to get a WMD if I can. Alright, so I have 2 more actions I can take here. I'll go ahead and play 2 of these tanks. And then I'll get the first of my 2 extra turns. Whoa, what was that? 3. I'm not particularly interested in the building cards right now. The intel, I could go after that with a 2 of a kind out there, but I don't know if that's the best use of my... It might be, but I don't know. Then I'm just opening up space to make room for my opponent to play 3 of a kind out of their hand to beat me. And that be that. But then I have to think, what else is moving out here and why? I've got the 2 tanks. So I wouldn't be able to... Yeah, so I'll go with a W1MG. Play this one. Hey, Mama Muffin, thank you so much. We'll have to talk more here after this match. I've got to get this set up here. But thank you so much for the packs that you gave me. I appreciate it greatly. Order Carmasani. Eliminated. And so we'll get a pair of John Riders out there. This could be just a whole lot of work to get knocked out in this next go. Let's see. Really going to come down to this spin right here. Let's see. What do we have? 1. Oh, and now I get it. Of course. Now I get the WMD. All right. Well, at least with the Rider, play that.
Select target.
I'll compromise my opponent's leader if nothing else, but this is...
Compromised.
It's a roll of 5, so this might do it here. Oh, I haven't even seen Discord chat since I started the stream, so sorry if I missed something that you sent me on there. So Intel going after my arsenal right there, milling 6 of my cards in my arsenal, send them over to the discard pile. Arsenal's a term in Warsaken for your deck. Still 1 action to go for my opponent. Wow. What do we have? 5. And how about that? My goodness. I'm going to come back to win this match. Wow. Never say never in Blitz. Deep.
Select target.
3 of a kind there. All right, good game. That was wild. I'm glad we had that on stream. Just to show you it is possible when it looks like you're just up against it, about to get smacked. If your opponent gets some bad luck as far as not be able to make that last particular trio of forces happen, you can possibly fight your way back and win. Good game. That was wild. Okay. So I'll go ahead and hit next, and that'll open up the queue. Rexinator, you're up next, pal. If you would, give me a join code. We'll get things going here in just a moment. This is NashvilleLou Live, playing the wonderful new game Warsaken Blitz. Yes, I did. I opened it. I've got it recorded. So I think for my what I'll do maybe for my next broadcast, I'll be able to show it in there. Maybe I'll put it up as a standalone on YouTube or something. I'll do my best to show it. I appreciate it greatly. Didn't get any like the high-end cards that you hope for or something like that, but I got some cool ones nonetheless, and it's greatly appreciated. And they're out now, obviously. We were talking about that before. Yeah, no, I'm the one that feels honored. Thank you. I appreciate it greatly. Oh, it says Blitz is temporarily unavailable. Okay. Well, we can wait for a moment. Actually, you know what? Let me take an early break. I found, because I did a really long broadcast, I think almost 7 hours or more than 7 the other day. Having so much fun. So I'm going to take just a quick, the caveat is like when I went 3.5 hours and didn't take a break, I was like legitimately hurting all day on Tuesday. So try to be smart about that. Get up and stretch from time to time. So I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Let's just refresh it. Okay, well, we can stay with it here. I don't want to wind up to go to break and then, let me see. Okay. I'll bring the slate up. Let me go to this key here. Okay, so I refreshed it. Oh, you were, I'm reading. Okay, okay, you were talking Musical Man to Rexy about refreshing it. I went ahead and took the liberty of refreshing my own app here. Okay, you know what? Let's go. I'll take the break now. Be back in just a couple of minutes. And we'll see if we can get this, if it's up and going, hopefully here soon. We'll have some more competition in just a moment. Quick break. And I still have to do something better as far as my transitions go. Within the scenes and everything in OBS Studio, some of this it's been bit by bit, just getting that wheel to work the way I want it to. The prize wheel was a bit of something. Okay, so that shows the list there in order. Back in just a couple of minutes. Hopefully be ready to go. We'll get matched up with some more Warsaken Blitz player versus player competition. Back in just a little bit. Stay tuned. Okay. So we'll see if we can get things working here. I'm not sure if the codes are working. I can try it on my end, and if it gives me a code, it won't for you for some reason. We can try it that way, Rexy. There we go. To make sure I click the correct sequence as far as the sources go, so it opens the right way. Excellent. Thank you. All right. Typed in right now. We'll get things going with this next match.
Warsaken.
All right. Okay. Now this is a solid starting 8 right here. No building cards to clog things up. 2 sets of 2. Let's keep it. And this is like if you had a poker table or a billiards table themed battlefield for Blitz. There's that kind of vibe from it. And it doesn't feel out of place or gimmicky or anything. Nothing to take you out of the moment, as it were, as a game player. There's a pair of force cards, followed by a second pair of force cards, and a standalone for a WMD. Plenty out there in the war zone for my opponent. Out of the gate. 6 for me. Okay. We'll play the pair of blinding sandstorms. Play a pair of Igors. And a pair of assassination attempts. That's it for the turn. All right, so 3 actions here for Rexy. Rexy pulled that WMD off the board. That's the assassination attempt pair right there. Made an impact, but there's a pair of standalone forces, so plenty of firepower there in that opposite side war zone. Roll of 1. Blech. I keep that 4th spot in my war zone open, so we'll end the turn with 1 action unused. Roll of 2 for Rexy. I've got 2 Igors out there, and now Rexy has 2 Igors out there. Move to open up that 4th spot. My turn. Roll a 5. All right, so we'll go 3 of a kind with Igor. The force will take out one of my opponent's territories. Golden Farmlands. All right. 4 more actions for this turn, but a little tough because, again, I want to keep that 4th spot open, so I won't be able to use all 4 actions. I'll use 2 of them here with a pair of freezing rainstorms. So 2 sets of 2 with the weather, and a set of 2 with the intel, and I'm going to keep everything else in my hand where it is for now and end the turn, forego those 2 actions. Now it's Rexy's turn. Ooh, it's a roll of 6. Uh-oh. Three of a kind with a WMD. He's going to take out 2 of my territories. Remember, you can only play one WMD per match. And Warsaken Blitz, 3 of a kind for that force. I'll be down to 1 territory. Three of a kind with a force. You know what? I could lose it right here. I might not get another roll. Compromised.
Compromised.
One more action, but luckily for me, it wasn't that. That would have been quite the combination there, but still, I'm up against it. 1. Ooh. Well, one action that I'm not going to be able to use here. End turn. So a roll of 1 for Rexy. If it's the right one right there for Rexy, that could be the match. And it was.
Leader eliminated. Defeated.
All right, good game. Congrats. Rexinator gets the win. All right. We're going to go over to the prize wheel here, give everybody a chance to take a look at what we got up here on this Warsaken prize wheel for tonight. Now I have to, for some reason, it didn't remove the that SR. Yeah, the SR. This is why I write this stuff down. D7X detection disruptor number 462. I think I didn't hit the. I hit the wrong choice of the two, so it didn't clear it out. So that's 1 out of 49. And this kind of skips over some of the ultra rares that are down at the bottom alphabetically, but you see there the pair of epics. You got a first wave upgrade card, part of that that plute that I was given. Very much appreciate that from Mama Muffin. Again, a bunch of super rares, and then, as I mentioned, scroll down and show you. You see several ultra rares, and then rounding out 10 very rares. So good luck to you. Got some pretty decent options out there, huh? All right, here we go. All right, a super rare destructive hijacking number 167. Congratulations. So if you would, Rexy, I know for some of you, I'll probably end up asking several times for your wax address. I just want to make sure, whatever address it was that you want it to go to, I just want to make sure it goes to the right place. So, well, I do have a list of everything here. As I'm trying to write stuff down kind of hurriedly in the moment, I'm not in the best spot to go through, and I just want to make sure I get everything to the right place. And then as I learn this and get more up to speed on quick ways to make this happen even faster, well, not, let's see, yeah, of course, there it is. With the wax wallet, thank you. All right. So at this point where I go through, and this will come from my fulfillments wallet. It's fulfillments with an S on the end. There's only one of these here in this particular. I've got a nice selection of stuff in here, so plenty of prizes for the future as well, beyond just tonight. So we'll go with a transfer. Point being, despite having a bunch of that in there, this is the only one of the destructive hijackings that I've got in there at the moment, so something unique there. NashvilleLou Live prize. And then today's dates. Double checking that wallet address there for Rexy. And there it is. And so we'll go ahead and get that sent out here in just a moment. And there it is. I like doing it this way because that way you can see there it is at its destination. It gives me a chance to pull it up on screen because just a screen cap does not do justice to some of the tremendous artwork and these various cards. So this is, again, sometimes it's beautiful artwork of horrifying things. It's you know, a war-based game after all, but even for something that would be kind of difficult to demonstrate in a photo with a destructive hijacking, they'd make it work here in a way that's visually impressive, but not distractingly so. So anyway, I dig the artwork here. They've got some great art, and hopefully you'll enjoy that prize there, Rexy. So congratulations on that, and we'll get the next match going here in just a moment. All right, so I'll go ahead here into chat. You're welcome. Thank you for playing. Thanks everybody for watching, for playing here tonight. Having a blast with it. All right. All right. And ready to go with the code. I appreciate that. Definitely want to have fast-paced setup from match to match. People waiting to play, and so want to try and play as many people as possible, have as many matches as possible. Because once you get going one after another, like it is with many games, it can be a lot of fun, and it is a lot of fun.
Warsaken.
And here we go. All right. So just the one building card. I'm fine with that. Got a match there. So not like it's overwhelmingly great, but do you really want to take a chance with a mulligan and end up with like 3 buildings, and then what do you do? No thanks. I'll go with that. Alright, so it's a weather card played for my opponent. That's my turn. 1. Okay, well. Nash. Jack's Nash. AFC South NFL game. Titans of the Jaguars. Shout out to Tony Khan. Alright, so it's my opponent's turn. Let's roll a 5. Three of a kind with a weather, so that's an extra turn for my opponent. Extra roll the die. There's a pair of weathers. There's the extra turn. It's a roll of 6. When you roll a 6 in Warsaken Blitz, not only do you get 6 actions, you draw 6 cards. So now it's 2 sets of 2 with the weather out there. It's a duo of force cards and 3 actions still to go. Two of a kind with the actions. Forces. I'm gonna have to break myself of saying actions, the general term for things you do in a turn, from forces. There's a very distinct rule in this game. There's a 6. All right. I don't need 4 of a kind here, but better that than 2. Okay, so I've got the Jack's Nash still out there. I'll wait on that for the moment. Go with a trio of Romans prototypes.
Select target.
I'll go to Mount Uptania. All right. only have one slot in my war zone taken up, so there's 3 additional available. Go ahead and play the second Jackson Nash. It's a force card. And for the purposes for Blitz, remember it's the category it falls into that really is what's important. Simplified version of Warsaken, so all the fine print. There's a reason I'm not going over this stuff, because it, for the purposes of Blitz, it doesn't apply, with the exception of morale, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. Go with a pair of propaganda. And that's it for my turn. Roll of 1 for my opponent. Remember those weather cards out there, and look at that, there's 3 of a kind with a weather, so it's another roll. A well-timed pull for a weather card can really save you. There's a roll of 2. There's 3 of a kind for a force, gonna take out one of my territories. There's 3 of a kind with a weather, so it'll be another roll here. 5. Ooh-hoo. Ooh-hoo. Trio of force cards. I'm down to 2 territories. 4 actions to go. 2 of a kind with force cards. And another 2 of a kind with force cards. My turn. 6. Okay. Play the 3rd propaganda. And I can take out 3 of those 4 weather cards out there. Or excuse me, I was thinking those were weather. I forget, I haven't played morale that much. No, this is actually the play here, is to go -6 for the morale. When your opponent's morale hits 0, it doesn't matter how many territories they hit, their leader becomes compromised. The same thing is true if their arsenal, if their deck hits 0 cards. Alright, we'll go... Oh, I'll tell you what we're going to do here. We're going back for the propaganda is what we're going back for. Second time around with the blood foil. But not this particular turn. We'll go with a pair of guard towers. I only have 2 actions left for this turn. So go with the 2 building cards, and that'll end my turn. 3 of a kind with morale is -6 to your opponent's morale. My opponent rolls a 4. 3 of a kind with the forces. I'm down to 1 territory. So 2 of a kind with the forces, with that jet, that ship as a standalone. It's my turn. 1. I mean, at this point, well, hang on. No, I don't have to do it that way. But I will do that. It might not matter. My opponent's able to match up with 2 of those 3 forces out there on that opposing side war zone. That's going to be all, that's all it'll be needed as far as for taking me out. I know that ship only has the 1 right now, so that would be the 1, but it could happen here. Instead, it's 2 of a kind, but I'm not going to get many more options to Are many more chances here to roll the die in all likelihood in this match? 5. Propaganda. -6 enemy morale. It's down to 5. Problem is, if I go back and try to get another morale, that's going to be, I think, asking too much. And I don't have 3 of a kind for the intels. I've got 2 of a kind, but that's not what I need. Because only one of those has to match up with something drawn or something already up there. But you think they would have played at that last play if they had it already. But point is, I might not get another chance at it here anyway, so I don't want to spend too much time overthinking it. We'll put out the pair. No. Actually, I will do this. We'll play the guard tower. It's just the one here. I can do it this way. More propaganda. I mean, the people, well, they don't demand it, but they're going to get it. And the way it works. But I may not get to play that third one. So we'll put 2 propagandas out there, and that's going to end my turn. Again, as you can tell, I'm still a little bit rusty. Not even rusty. Still a little bit green when it comes to playing with a morale deck. There's 6, so this is going to probably be curtains for me. Yep, there's 3 of a kind. That's going to take out my 4th territory. Compromised leader.
Compromised.
That's funny about flexing the... Yeah, oh, I just happened to play this blood again. Oh, just have to pull it back. Well, here we go. That's 2 of a kind with the intel. Is that going to be 3? No, it's not. So if I'm able to get 4 actions here and have 3 of a kind with a force to go with that, well, let's see what happens. It could be, oh, 1. That's not going to be enough here, is it? Well, it will compromise my opponent's leader. So there's that. So -6 morale.
Leader compromised.
You see? 3 territories still over there, but that doesn't matter. Hitting 0 on morale takes your opponent's leader into a compromised status. Roll of 1. No way. You've got to have a match here. Although just pulling that 1, the intel card, I mean, it might matter if I end up getting another Nash. There's 3 of a kind with a force. That's going to do it. All right, good game. Congratulations on the win. So if you would, please let me know which wax address you'd like me to send your prize to. And we'll get that prize lined up here in just a moment. That was a good game. Again, I'm still rusty and... I keep saying rusty, that's not even right. Rusty, giving myself too much credit, as if I've, had that experience. I'm just still too new to it with morale to have all of my instincts as far as that goes. But still, I think a well-timed morale deck is might catch somebody a little bit off guard. Okay, so I'm going to switch to the prize wheel. And there we go. Okay, that was the prize from the last drawing. This time make sure you hit remove. I didn't do that before. That was my problem there. Removed. But we're going to sort it right here. There's some... I'll show you down at the very bottom here. You got some very rares. Only 10 of those. But it's the ultra rares one to show you. Because it's alphabetical, they kind of get hidden. But the rest of it up here near the top. Pair of epics on the board. You got that first wave upgrade card on the board. A loot pack 06. Many thanks to Mama Muffin. She gave that to me for me to open. I misunderstood and thought she wanted me to give it away on stream, so I moved it to my fulfillments wallet. And she was nice enough to then give me another pack that had that first wave upgrade inside, which I've included here. And so we're going to give the few shuffles. Good luck. Here we go. All right, look at that. A super rare A9 Hammerhead number 476. Congratulations. So if you would please let me know where you want me to send that, and I'll get it sent to you right now. I'm making sure I'm pulling up the right one here and on this screen. I might already have one in here for you. I can look if you want me. I just want to make sure I get to the right address. That to me is very important because... Oh, okay. I did all that and I was clicking on the wrong one, so... Was it the one that ends in 35? Is that the one? I just want to make sure it goes to the right one. So I'll have that ready to send over to you as soon as I just want to make sure I got the right address for you here. Type this in chat to make sure. Let's see. I'll make sure it's this one. My concern is that I would send it to the wrong wallet and then it end up causing some problems for somebody. And that's the last thing I want to have happen. I want to have some cool prizes to give away and everything, but want to make sure it goes to the right place. This right here is a choke point for live streaming and wax that I hope soon is going to be alleviated. There's the wax bot, and I'm talking about it before. I'm still not sure how it works. I'm not sure what extension it is. I tried looking it up online, and the search engine seemed confused by what I was asking it. Okay, that's it. Thank you. I just want to make sure it's going to the right place. So good. All right. I would rather wait a moment, make sure it was going to the right one. So we'll get that sent to you right now. And I'll bring it up here on screen and show everybody what you won. And for something I didn't plan at all, as far as like thinking this would be part of the presentation, it actually has been something that I've been very pleased with, the way it's turned out. Okay, so we'll have the reveal here. And there it is. The A9 Hammerhead. Look at that. It's a Force card. Maybe sub. And for the purposes of Blitz, what matters is that it's a Force card. And that's it. Which is great because that's an easy way for people to learn how to play Warsaken Blitz without having so much information that for some people it might be overwhelming and might cause them to not get into it as much. With Blitz, it's an easier lowers the burden of entry as far as somebody learning about it. Anyway, congratulations on that. And we'll get things going with the next matchup here in just a moment. This is NashvilleLou Live. I'm your host, Lou Pickney. Having a blast with you here. Playing Warsaken Blitz. Okay. So now I'll go ahead and hit next in the queue. Thank you. All right. Delve us in with the code for me. And this really has worked out much, much better for me with this setup, with my opponents being the ones to give me the code. It doubles as in a positive way, doubles as letting me know that person's there and ready to go. Versus if I put a code out and somebody has to step away for a moment, then there's that like confusion, and it kind of like bogs things down a bit in my experience. So this has worked out well, what I'm saying. All right, here we go.
Warsaken.
Okay, let's get everything caught up there from the last time. So this is an interesting one here. I think I'm going to go with it. I mean, you get the pair of those. Only one with building, so not too much of that. Got a pair there. A mulligan brings you a lot of unknown. So I'll go with that. My opponent goes first. Thanks to everybody who's taken the time to watch here, either live tonight, video on demand later, VOD. Here on Twitch, it's a roll of 6 for my opponent. Here on Twitch, almost right away after I finish a live broadcast, I make a highlight of it so it stays here indefinitely. There's 3 of a kind. The force. I'm down to 3 territories, so just like that. 3 actions still to go for my opponent. Duo of weather cards. And then a standalone with a force card, and it's my turn. 4. Okay. So all 4 spots, really 4 slots in your war zone. So with that open, we'll go with a pair of Romans prototypes. And what a name here. The A4 Revenge Super Carrier. As I noted earlier, when I saw that in my last live stream, man, I've got to get that. And so I did. And I was so excited about the Revenge Super Carrier name that I didn't hit the red button that would have played them both at the same time. And that's it for my turn. So a roll of 2. I already have 2 Romans prototypes out there, so a third makes a trio. And a trio means you can use it. So the force means I can take out any of these 4 opponent territories. We'll go with this one. But I was saying, though, I finally started putting my archive on YouTube. And it's been interesting. Suddenly, like, for whatever reason, Twitch VODs get put on the pay no mind list, even by Bing, it seemed like. But putting it on YouTube, like within 12 hours, I did a search on like a computer I'd never used the browser for anything for myself, so it wouldn't know me from anybody else. And I did a type for, I think I searched for, what was it, Warsaken Strategy 2023, and boom, there was like those videos I just posted hours ago on YouTube are right up there. So point being, for those of you who are content creators, I know for some people, you have no desire to go with anything beyond just that live broadcast, which is fine. But if you have something that you can, especially if you can put it on YouTube and the copyright monsters won't tear you apart, then there seems to be opportunity there. Because there'll be people that are going to be wanting to find out how to play this game. And I think it's going to be interesting to see here with Twitch and YouTube as well, but YouTube still won't list Warsaken Blitz as a game for, I don't know why, but that's their decision. So I definitely want to prioritize Twitch, and yet at the same time, I know that YouTube reaches people and seems to influence search engines in a way that perhaps Twitch VODs don't. Here's a 6. So I rolled a 6. And I'll be able to play this WMD. 3 of a kind with a white phosphorus bomb.
Select target.
So with the WMD, it takes out 2 of your opponent's territories. Go for the Dryton oil fields and the Fermi energy plants. My opponent's down to just 1 territory remaining. I have 3 actions to go for this turn. 2 spots open there in my war zone. I already have 1 blinding sandstorm out there. I can play a second. 2 more to go for this turn. And it makes sense with a pair of guard towers to go ahead and play them here. And that's it for my turn. Two actions to go, and that's it. So 4 sets of 2 out there in the war zone for my opponent. 1. Ooh. I'm going to keep that 4th spot in my war zone open. And even though it's only the 1 action for this turn, I'm not going to take it. It's a roll of 5 for my opponent. And you know there are going to be some matches out there with those weather cards. There's the first one. That means an extra turn. It's 2 of a kind. So roll of 3 with the extra turn. Still 4 sets of 2 out there. 3 extra cards coming in. Let's see what matches up. It's another weather. So it's another +1 turn. 2 of a kind with the intel. Uh-oh. And now a roll of 3. You see the impact that weathers can have. In a match of Warsaken Blitz. 3 of a kind with the intel. So 3 of my cards taken out of my war zone. 3 of a kind there for the force to take me down to 2 territories remaining. 1 action, and that ends the turn for my opponent. 4. Play a blinding sandstorm. Recall the guard tower. 2 actions to go for this turn. Play an A4 Revenge Super Carrier. And we'll play a John Ryder. That's going to end the turn. My opponent rolls a 4. Three of a kind with the weather. That means an extra turn. And a roll of 5. My goodness. WMD, uh-oh. I'm in serious trouble here.
Compromised.
Three of a kind with that force. That's going to be it. We'll lose.
Leader eliminated. Defeated.
All right, congratulations. Good game. All right. Give me just a second. We'll give another visit over to the Warsaken prize wheel here on NashvilleLou Live. All right, this is from the prior spin. I'll go ahead and remove this from the wheel. So we're now down to 1 out of 47. And again, I will note that there are a number of ultra rares that are down there, but just alphabetically, it doesn't quite work out. But you can see some pretty nice options here. A pair of epics up there, a first wave upgrade card, got a loot pack. The kind you can't buy anymore directly, but you can win it here potentially on the wheel. And again, many thanks to Mama Muffin for that loot pack. So you want 3 shuffles, you got it. And the spin, good luck to you. Let's see, what do we have? The tease with that epic sanctuary, but a nice draw nonetheless. Super rare planted device number 489. Congratulations. And thank you for providing your address there again. I'll go ahead and I will try to do the copy paste gimmick, and I actually will succeed there. So we'll get that pulled up here. And then once it's sent, I'll be able to show it off to everybody. And again, for something that I hadn't even envisioned being part of this at all, that has really worked out well, in my opinion, as far as being able to not only, you know, show what somebody's won, but to spotlight the actual artwork itself, because they've got some tremendous artwork with these cards. Congratulations. Winning that planted device. That's super rare. So double checking here with that address. NashvilleLou Live prize with today's date. So we'll get that transferred over to you here in just a moment. Once we do that, we'll be able to pull up here and check it out here for just a moment before we get going with our next match. There it is. Super rare planted device, one of only 500. Some intel cards, sabotage. I love like a little detail to it, even like just that red light right there. And yet it stands out. Anyway, I love the artwork in Warsaken, so this is a fun way that, again, I hadn't envisioned it this way, but with a lot of this, I didn't know what to envision when it came to trying to figure out what made the most sense to spotlight the stuff and yet keep things going at a pretty decent pace, not get too bogged down with the in-between, because ultimately to me the game is the star of the show, but within the game some really cool cards and some nice artwork that's fun to show off and check out as well. So we'll go ahead. I will hit exclamation point next, and we'll be ready to get things going with our next matchup here. This will be the last matchup before I take a break here. So if you could please provide a connection code, a join code, if you would please. Natha CGAs, you are up. All right, thank you.
Warsaken.
Here we go. King, comma draft. This is interesting. Only 2 forces in here, which is a little different. None of these match up. Well, the intels that do. We'll keep it. It's risky taking the mulligan if you feel at least halfway decent about your hand, because if that mulligan is a significant downgrade, either it's like you know that you put yourself in a bad position just because of taking that risk, or you risk a double mulligan, that second try, where your opponent gets an extra card. Roll a 4 for my opponent. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for playing. Look at that. Vladimir. I don't want Vladimir to be angry at me at any point, with or without that bit of machinery there. Impressive looking card. I keep saying that, but it's because it's true. It stands out. One action to go for my opponent here. So again, as noted, after this match, I'm going to take about a 5-minute break, and they'll keep things going here. 5. Okay. Oh. We'll play a pair of terrifying storms. 3 actions to go. Play a pair of cheetahs. And we will play 1, control the message. I mean, you know, if there's a card about the TV news business, you're going to have me having it. You know that's going to happen. There's 1. That's it for my turn. It's over to my opponent, who has 2 sets of 2 with force cards over there staring me down. It's a roll of 2. Remember, on that prize wheel, got that loot pack. Those loot packs that sold out this morning. You could potentially win it if you beat me here. Speaking of a winner, this won't win me the match, but this will take my opponent from having 4 territories down to 2.
Select target.
We'll go with St. Purcell Harbor. Bancare Island is 3. The Port of Carmasani is 3, and then so is Mount Optania. So we'll go with the 4 and the 3 as far as the morale go. Let's My opponent's turn. Okay, my goodness. There. Okay, I'm sorry, everybody. Of all the times because I have a secondary hard drive that I record stuff to, because my streaming computer doesn't have just this massive hard drive. So I decided suddenly that, it lost the connection to my external device, which was sitting there, hadn't been jostled or anything. So many apologies there to those that had to deal with that nonsense. I don't know if my opponent's still there. I mean, at this point, as a make good would give you a spin. That was just, oh, there we go, the 5. All right, so 5 actions to go here for my opponent. Oh, that's so frustrating to me. And then OBS Studio wouldn't quit freaking out. It's like, yes, I told you 50 times. I'm aware that it's not recording to the right place because it suddenly couldn't figure out where it was. And I had to finally use the task manager and just zap the thing and then get it going again. So hopefully the hard drive won't just randomly decide to not be connected by a USB cable anymore. So an interesting situation here. I guess I try to, for as much as I'm almost completely oblivious to what's going on in the game, I somehow have a sizable advantage, but then my opponent staring me down 3 sets of 2 there and then 1. So yeah, so sorry everybody to have that abruptly just lock up, because I thought I was at least still streaming, and then I looked over at my my work computer, the one that wouldn't be able to handle this as far as what I'm trying to do here, but it's good for just business stuff. But I'm able to pull it up there as almost a monitor of sorts, and they would show me, nope, not connected. So hopefully this will hold up for the duration of the broadcast. And I'm going to have to rethink, however, it's enough of a rat's nest of wires over here as it is. We assign you to go through and just streamline some of this stuff a little bit better. Anyway, 3 of a kind. So that force will take out one of my territories. Oh, so Nath is having problems with the internet? Oh no. As strange as it is, because it's an entirely different computer. The computer playing the game, that's like my ace computer. The one for broadcasting. Well, if need be, if we have to, if this match is a no contest, that delay that was put on you by no fault of your own, win or lose, I'll give you a spin on the wheel. Well, that's understandable. Well, it's all, of all the time, if I had to run to a time when an opponent's having computer problems and is running slow, it would be a good time for it to match when my streaming computer goes haywire. So if it had to happen, well, at least it matched up like that. Chaos versus chaos. I've had very strong positive results with the app running very well for me. I have found that after about 3 hours, it helps if you refresh it. I'm not saying that's the situation at all for Natha, but in my experience, from just the other day. And I mean, there would be, I'm sure there's more than one way to refresh it, but F5, just like you would with a web browser, worked out. There we go. Very thorough in their vetting. There's 2 of a kind with the intel. 3 actions to go. I don't even... Maybe I could pull it up over here if I... The problem is if I pull up Discord, then it takes me away from OBS Studio and keeping track of the live broadcast, so it's tough. And I'm sure I could have another monitor if I needed to, but at some point I'm going to stick with my chat. So if there's anything urgent or particularly noteworthy in Discord, please let me know, and I'll give it a look. I still think there's so much that could be gained by having some of that information inside Discord posted elsewhere outside Discord to help spread information about the project. At the same time, I can tell that the Warsaken crew, y'all know what's going on, so you don't need me to tell you how to run your business. There's 3 of a kind with the intel. So unless I'm about to be forced to do some discarding, which could happen, it'll be taking my 3 Legion cards there out of my war zone, send them packing for the discard pile. And actually, I don't mind having this extra moment or two to just like, okay, and a reset, okay. Easy does it, Lou. You got things going again with a streaming computer. But you just have to realize that for so many years, I would be responsible for these broadcasts where if anything went wrong, where like a full screen showed up at the wrong time, or the runtime was wrong on the reporter's package from yesterday, and the 5 p.m. producer was too lazy to change it, even though I call it out every time for 3 months in a row on the ops report. Because just like my ops report, any sort of complaints about, hey, you're not doing your job right, get taken to the dustbin. So 1 more action to go here. Also with that plute that I opened, I recorded it, but I didn't have it live on stream. Until I watched what was it on Discord tonight? What the event was called, or just the Blitz event. But I wasn't sure if it was like pronounced muffin or muffin, and I was like, I want to say the wrong thing because you know how it is when you see names that are written and then hear them said. So I was glad to hear it said, okay, muffin, much easier. Hey, no worries. Hey, I had a computer live. I'll type it here. And no worries. I was feeling bad. It's like, oh, I was afraid that was like I had wasted too much of your time by my scrambling unsuccessfully to try and salvage that live stream and having to restart it. Saying the page doesn't like you. If you think it'll let you finish, we have a few choices here. Do you think if you were, would you be able to, if we tried to like replay this match, let's say we say this is a no contest, we play again, would your internet still be giving you problems, you think, or? I tell you what, let's just go ahead and stop the match. I'm going to give you a spin on the wheel. I had caused enough issues as it was with the whole, the live stream ran out because for some reason your computer thought your external hard drive wasn't connected anymore, so it just stopped everything. Just wrecked it all. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and end. I'm going to choose end game. Whoa, okay. And it does ask you, are you sure you want to forfeit? It makes you switch. So you can't, like, I almost accidentally double clicked there. It's like, well, if ever there's a time to test this out as a shoot in a live situation, let's do it. And it seemed to hold up well as far as like making sure you really do want to. So I'll take the forfeit here.
Defeated.
All right. We'll do the wheel spin here in just a moment. Appreciate everybody for hanging in here with me. I know it's not always easy when technology comes in and causes what, I mean, again, tech makes things possible that would have, 25 years ago, go back and talk to me in college and tell me all this is possible. I'd be, I don't know what the younger version of me would say to that. Yeah, the internet's getting problems. I understand that. So what I'm going to do is let me go ahead and bring up the slate. We're going to go to the prize wheel. I'm going to give you a prize. Spin on the wheel. I know it's frustrating when the internet isn't wanting to cooperate for you. The way I saw it, though, I was going to give you a spin, win or lose, just due to my own computer issues with that match and the slow up it caused on my end. So what I'm going to do now is go to remove for the last prize we gave away. So we're now at 1 out of 46. So I'll go ahead and type this in chat. Oh, you know what would help if you could actually see it. Again, this is me as technical director. There we go. This is presented by my land in Alien Worlds, Neri 3616. Please mine at Neri 3616 if you play Alien Worlds. Let's take a look here at these 46 different options here on the wheel. And the top ones are still in here. You got the 2 epics, the first wave upgrade. You get that loot pack, 06. Mama Muffin, very, very generous with that. I was actually pointing at the upgrade as I said that, and the upgrade was in the plute that she very generously gave me. Really appreciated. And so that upgrade could be yours. We got the super rares, these ultra rares, which are, I would have up there toward the top if I could sort them as far as rarity goes. Only 200 of them exist per. And then very rares. I came into the broadcast with 10 of those. I mean, that's the low end of it. At the very least, you're getting a very rare. So it's at least something that's a bit unique. But here's hoping we'll have some good luck with this spin. We'll give it a few shuffles. And here we go. So close to the ultra rare, but still not bad when this is the second best, and it's a super rare fortified greenhouse, number 382. All right, so I'm going to type this here in chat. Congrats at the CGA. This prize is yours. And now I need to make sure that I've got the correct wax address to send this to. Let's see. I'm keeping track of various giveaways. I want to make sure I've got the right address because, as noted before, once you send something out on the blockchain, there's no reeling it back in. And in some cases, it's just a matter of convenience. I don't want to send something out to the wrong place and the person doesn't get it and it's just lost. That's bad for all involved. Oh, you're welcome. Glad to do it. Which address for the prize? Pull up this greenhouse. And again, these are sent out from my fulfillments wallet. Fulfillments with an S at the end. So I'm going to get everything ready to go to send out super rare fortified greenhouse number 382. All right. Excellent. Thank you. All right, so there we go. Okay. Hate to have that long moment of silence there, but that was me just trying to make sure I had everything lined up and correct, because as noted, while I do want to be quick about it as far as getting everything sent out and showed off before we get to the next match, with something like this, you have to make sure it goes to the right place, or else everyone's disappointed. We don't want that. So I've got this double checked. It's the super rare. It's a camo. Fortified greenhouse number 382. And we'll get that down here in just a moment. All right. So there's the list. I'm going to take about a 5-minute break here and come in just a moment. And so on the other side of that, we'll have Ivanov, Zeal, Rexy. So let me do this. If I get out of order as far as how I do things in OBS Studio, then it doesn't bring things up the correct way. Okay, here we go. So congratulations. There it is, the fortified greenhouse. Number 382. All right, so what I'm going to do now is take about a 5-minute break. Let's see if I did this correctly. Ah, I did. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and hit next, which will advance it. And Ivanov will, on the other side of the break, we'll have our match. If you want to go ahead and get a code ready, that would be great. But no rush on it per se. We'll have just a few minutes to let me make sure I don't lose my voice or otherwise find myself sitting in the same position for too long and waking up with terrible neck pain, because that's not any fun. Back in just probably 5 minutes tops. And we'll get things going here with the next match. Having a blast here. Playing Warsaken Blitz live on Twitch, NashvilleLou Live. Stay tuned. Okay, back from the break. So I'm not sure, I don't know if you're there. I know there was a bit of a situation there earlier with the double whammy of an opponent that was having internet issues, and then before that, me having broadcast computer issues. The broadcast computer being the more difficult part of the two. So we'll go ahead then and hit next. And I don't know if you're in here, if you can make your way back in here, we'll work you into the mix. Zeal, you're up next. If you could, please provide a join code and we'll get things going here with our next match. Yeah, ready whenever you are, Zeal. If you can just provide a join code, I'll type it in and we'll get things going here. Remember that loot pack is still out there on the wheel. Those 2 epics, still out there on the wheel. Bunch of ultra rares out there. Large quantity of super rares. And there, I think, 10 in total with the very rares. If for some reason you're not able to provide a code, I can get one to you if you need me to. It's just it's proven to be easier to have friends playing against me to be the ones to provide it. I think I imagine for most of you it's easier than it would be for me, just because of the copy paste element of it, because I'm not able to do that just with this particular setup. Thank you. All right.
Warsaken.
So thank you there for the code. Actually, I do need to make a note here. To check one other thing. Okay. Now we're ready. Only one building card, which is... that works for me. 2 of a kind there. I'll keep it. It's not overwhelmingly great, but I'll keep it nonetheless. And I get to go first. 2. Play a pair of Fire in the Fields. And that's it for my turn. 2. There's a pair of weather cards. My turn. 6. So I have 3 spots up there in my war zone. Play a pair of Z27 Tigers. And we'll play a pair of hacked networks. Intel. And I'm going to forego my final 2 actions of the turn. End my turn. It's a 4. There's 3 of a kind for the weather, so that's going to be an extra turn for my opponent. We each have 2 fire in the field cards out in our respective war zones. There's a WMD. Look at that thing, stolen super weapon. There's so many very, very impressive, like, well thought out cards in this game. My turn. 2. All right. Hack network. So that's going to be 3 of a kind with the intel. Now, while there might be damage to cause my opponent by making them discard 3 from their hand, I could also try to go after the arsenal there. Send 6 to the discard pile. I'm going to bounce 3. And again, well, sometimes it'll give the option of, there's no red button here. And it seems like sometimes that shows up and sometimes it doesn't, but that's okay. Taking them both out.
Select target.
And then we'll go with 1 on the fire in the fields. I have 1 action to go. I've got 2 spots open in my war zone. I could bring back intel. If I were to put... Yeah, I'm not crazy about it, but I will play 1 soldier barracks card here. I'll still have that 4th spot open. So, that's it for my turn. It's a roll of 2 for my opponent. Couple of intel cards there. My turn. 6. Well, now. I can play 3rd for the fire in the fields. I'll get an extra turn. I have the option. If I wanted to take 3 additional actions to this turn, I could, but I want that extra turn. So I have 5 actions to go here. I could use the building cards. I already have 1 out there, so I don't need all 3. So I'd only play 2 of them. I would still have 3 more that I could play this turn. The other option is going for weather cards, but I don't know about bringing back weather cards. And yet, maybe it is the better play. I don't know. We've already had that. Once you've had intel here, going with it a second time really quickly in succession doesn't happen that often, and sometimes I wonder if it's if you're getting its full effectiveness since you've already used it recently. Maybe it depends on the situation. Anyway, after all that about weather, I'm going to play weather because I will get an extra turn out of it this way. Now, I like extra turns if you haven't noticed by now. Here we go. 4. Okay. Easy enough. I have 3 spots open in my war zone. Play a pair of L1 needles. From there, play a pair of Romans prototypes. And now I get to roll again. 1. Okay, well, I do have that 4th spot open. There's nothing that makes sense for me to play here. It's just a roll of 1. So I'm going to opt to not use that action and end my turn. Alright, so a roll of 2 for my opponent. Zeal plays a pair of force cards. My turn. 3. Okay. Play a Z-27 Tiger.
Select target.
Go for the port of Carmasani. Two actions to go. We'll play a pair of John Riders. That's it for the turn. So it's a roll of 6. There's 3 of a kind for a force. So I've got my vast hinterland. 3 of a kind for the intel. One each. There's a pair of ideal conditions weather cards. Pair of force cards. And that's it for my opponent's turn. My turn. 4. Okay. Play the captured leader, WMD.
Select target.
Ben Care Island. Mount Uptania. All right. I'll play a guard tower here. And that's it for my turn. It's a 5 for my opponent. Three of a kind for a weather. That's going to be a +1 turn. Stand by. Sorry about that quick, abrupt cut out there. I had to go kill a spider. A pretty big spider. Decided to just come strutting on in. I'll go to war with a spider. Wasps freak me out. I've got a wasp phobia, which is not a good thing to have when you're a sports broadcaster. Because unfortunately, sometimes the areas we got to broadcast from are also areas where wasps are known to congregate. All right, my turn. 3. All right, 3 of a kind with the violent tornado. But here's the problem. I've got all my 4 spots filled up. So there's that. But there is some value to doing it this way. I'll play 2 guard towers and have 1... Oh, I'll still be 1 shy though, won't I, for the rider? That's the one I want. It's in there. Okay. Like, it looks tempting with Violent Tornado, but the spots aren't there because I took the risk there and put that one guard tower out, so we'll use 2 more. So I can get the stuff that got intel'd out earlier, including the John Ryder. L1 needle. Roman's prototype. 1 action to go for this turn. John Ryder. That's it for my turn. It goes to my opponent. It's a 6. Uh-oh. I might not get another roll. So a pullback there of 1. Making way for a trio of weather cards, so that'll be a +1 turn for my opponent. 2 actions to go. One. There's an intel card. Here's the roll of 4. There's a pullback of the intel card. 3 actions to go for my opponent. Using a building card. It's my opponent's discard pile. Couple forces, intels, weathers. My turn. 5. What? How many decks do I have here? What have I done? I've triggered multi-ball. Those intels are still in there. Okay, how do I get out of this? That's how. Okay. Alright, so I rolled a 5. My opponent has 1 territory remaining. I can play the Rider. I think I can get it here. I think I'm going to win. Finally. It was a hard fight to get that John Ryder in position. How do I go back? I had to use a building card to make it. A building card sometimes, as much as I kind of dig on or knock on building cards early because they get in the way, when you need them, they can make all the difference. Vast hinterland. Save the vast for last. 4 actions to go.
Compromised.
And with the leader compromised, I just have to have 1 more trio of force cards. I got the Romans out there. Let's do it.
Select target.
All right, good game. All right. Sometimes it can be a matter of just being 1 action shy as far as how many you need in a given round. And that can make all the difference. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit next. Rexy. Rexinator, if you're here, go ahead and let me know. Get a code. If anybody else is wanting to play, go ahead and hit exclamation point, join. Hey, Rex, yes, even the thumbs up there, so cool. All right, so it'll be Rexy coming up now, and then Zeal will be in the queue for the next matchup. But whenever you're ready, Rexy, just let me know. Here it is. All right, great. Thank you. I'm going to type in the code. I guess adding my photo there kind of gets in the way of the code. That wasn't intentional. It's just kind of hard to find a place that doesn't get in the way of the regular match. And I want people to at least know who I am, so that's that. Me being on camera would be just like flying around the room. I don't think it'd be very effective. Here we go.
Warsaken.
All right, taking on Rexy. This is Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou Live. I'm your host, Lou Pickney. This works for me. Only one building card. Now, it's weird to not see any forces in here, but let's see how it plays out. Keep it. Yeah, good luck. Like, I play hard and I want to win, but I'm happy when I lose in this particular game because I have prizes to give away. I'm excited for people to get a chance to win those. So I rolled a 3. Pair of terrifying storms. One more action. We'll use the non-aggression treaty. My opponent rolls a 4. Two sets of 2 with the force cards. My turn. 5. Okay. We'll play 3 at a time, 3 of a kind, with the overtime production. -6 to the enemy morale. Down to 14. When your opponent's morale hits 0, no matter how many territories they have, their leader becomes compromised at that point. 2 more actions that I can take this turn. Play 1 non-aggression treaty. I'll play 1 Cheetah Z series. And that's it for my turn. My opponent rolls a 2. Noteworthy to see those 2 intel cards out there. 3. We'll play this Cheetah Z series. I'll keep that 4th spot in my war zone open and end the turn here with 2 actions untaken. So it's a 3 for Rexy. 3 of a kind with a force. I'm down to 3 territories. 2 actions to go for Rexy for this turn. So it's 1 WMD. Ooh, infected water supply. Yikes. Wow. Some of these cards I legitimately have never seen before. I haven't seen them in a long time, at the very least. So it's... I'm still seeing new stuff, which is a fun thing to have. All right, here we go. I got intel I can play here. 3 of a kind. That's why I keep that 4th spot open. And I have some candidates up there for getting targeted. When I broke into the TV news business in 1997, there actually were like camera operators in the on the set, and it angered my anchors greatly when over time they were phased out for robots that couldn't answer their questions with like 5 seconds coming back for break. When you don't have a floor manager anymore, it takes away some of your quality of your broadcast, and people at home never see why. All right, so I'm gonna choose to bounce 3 here.
Select target.
We'll go for 1 of the Igor.
Select target.
We'll go for the infected water supply. Keep that away from me. Thank you very much.
Select target.
And we'll take 1 of the 2 burn notices. Bounce that directly into the discard pile. All right, so I still have 1 action to go. But I'm not going to use it here, and I'll end the turn. Keep that 4th spot open there. And now it's my opponent's roll. When it's a 5 for Rexy. I just used that intel, so I wonder if anything will get pulled back to the hand here. There's still that 4th spot open, so it's not a necessity, but it might happen depending on what Rexy has lined up here. I feel like I definitely made the right decision with the intel cards, seeing those match up out there with 2 apiece. 2 for the weather there. And then Igor got brought back to the hand there to make room. Open up that 4th spot. Smart play. My turn. 2. End my turn without using either action. It's a 6. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This could be serious trouble right here. Three of a kind with the intel cards. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Three more actions to take here. And there's a trio of force cards. I'm down to 2 territories. But it's my turn. 1. So there's that. However, if I play that card out here, knowing, I feel like you're somewhat telegraphing what you're going to do when you fill up your 4th spot with something. Or at least you're showing that you're willing to take that chance. I just know what I would do if I had a 3rd intel drop in and my opponent just filled up the 4th spot. So I'm not going to do that. One weakness I have is I sometimes overlook when I've got a 2nd card to play out there, because those cards don't do the victory dance like Private Yvette's doing there. Like, you know, jumping around. But in this case, there's no match out there. And so I'll forego that move, that action, I'll end the turn. It's a 4. So Rexy rolls a 4. Got those 3 sets of 2 out there matched up. There's 3 of a kind for the force. Some deliberation at this point when your opponent has 2 territories left. You're hoping a lot of times that you're going to have a WMD that you can play, taking out both territories. It's almost like, you know, you don't want to feel like you wasted your effort on that, but you don't know for sure if that WMD is going to drop in. You can't just wait around for that necessarily. So there's some risk to it either way. There's 2 of a kind there for that force, and then Igor force card. Filling up the 4th spot, I might note. 5. Okay. Well, let's see. Play the 3 private Sarah vets.
Select target.
Go for the golden farm lands and the -4 morale. I have 2 actions remaining for this turn. Bring back the non-aggression treaty. And I'll replace it with propaganda. And that'll end my turn. All right. 6. Got a lot of cards. You know, I still have 23 in my arsenal, so I'm not at risk for that. Yeah, Zeal, you're up next. Okay. Play the trio of Romans prototypes.
Select target.
Drighton oil fields, -4 morale. Three actions to go. Got a trio of sent architectural plans. We're gonna do a little bit of bouncing.
Select target.
Bounce the burn notice.
Select target.
Bounce the tsunami.
Select target.
Bounce the fabricator. That's the end of my turn. Feel free to type !join in chat if you'd like to play. People who beat me here on stream have a chance to win a prize on the Warsaken prize wheel. Includes a loot pack. I've got a couple of epics up there. I rolled a 1. Well, I'll probably play the propaganda card, unless I'm overlooking something. Because if I get the propaganda card played, I can get my opponent down to a 0 morale, and thus have them compromised. Oh, okay. Now it's my opponent's turn. Oh, it's a roll of 5. I only have 1 territory left. Three of a kind with that force. I'm gonna have a compromised leader. Two of a kind with the weather. 3 actions to go. There's a pair of Igors. Those are force cards. One more of those, and that would be the match. So my opponent opts to take a force card off the board. 3. All right, propaganda. Before I just leap into it, let's think. I'm gonna play the propaganda here. -6 to my enemy's morale.
Compromised.
One of 3 ways you can compromise the opponent's leader. Either take out their territories, you get their arsenal down to 0, or you get the morale down to 0. So I just need 3 of a kind with a force to win the match. I have 2 actions that I can take remaining in this turn. The WMD doesn't help me really at this point. I'll play a pair of Jacks, Nash. Let's see, yeah. I'll go with that. The pair of Jacks, Nashes. And that's going to be it for my turn. It's a 6. This is probably going to do it. All Rexy needs is 1 Igor out of those 6. Or 3 of a kind. With some sort of force. There's 2. 3. All right, congratulations. Rexy, victorious. Good game. All right, Rexy. Let's see what we can get over on the prize wheel. Zeal, you'll be up next. I'm going to go ahead and close. Well, no, I'll keep the queue open for now. If somebody shows up and wants to play, I don't want to keep them out. But that might be the one more match against Zeal after this one might be it for me. We'll see. Zeal, I'll get to that code here in just a second. Thank you for sending it. So now let's take a trip over to the prize wheel real quick. Okay, a reminder. Warsaken prize wheel sponsored in part by my land in Alien Worlds. If you play Alien Worlds, please mine at least sometimes, at least once. Stop by, check it out, say hi. Mine there. Neri 3616. Neri 3616 in Alien Worlds. So we'll remove the super rare fortified greenhouse, which was given away. We're now down to 45. Let's go ahead real quick and sort it, remembering that there are several ultra rares that alphabetically are lower, but actually are much higher in ranking, where you're talking about 1 out of 200 total that exist. Even fewer with some of these. Get the pair of epics that are out there. Got that first wave upgrade card, loot pack, 06. You can't get those anymore with loot, at least. Maybe on the secondary market, or you can win it here from me. Many thanks to Mama Muffin for providing that. Super rares, ultra rares, some very rares. All right, so we'll give it several shuffles here. Rexy, I hope you get that loot pack. Let's give it a spin and see what happens here. NashvilleLou live. Oh, they tease you with a loot pack. But look at that. An ultra rare control the message number 72. Congratulations. Alright, so I'm making a note here. Rex, you know, you gave me the address, your wax address earlier, the Rexinator123. Alright, so what I'll do now is bring up the slate. Just a moment. Actually, I have to do something with the slate here real quick. There we go. I want to see if I can make the thing about the Q disappear on there and not mess up in the broadcast, and so it did that correctly. So now what I'm going to do is go over into my fulfillments wallet. Prizes given away from NashvilleLou live broadcasts and games sent from my fulfillments wallet. So it's the ultra rare Control the Message. Number 72, so I'm gonna get that ready to transfer over to you. And once we get that sent to you over there, Rexy will show everybody that it has arrived, and we'll give them a look at it. Make sure to note in the memo section, this is NashvilleLou Live. Prize. And then, well, I'll still put 5:27. It's already past midnight Nashville time. So technically the 28th here, but the date on the slate, as it were, is what I go with for that. Local time. Alright, so it's Control the Message, ultra rare, number 72 out of 200 total. That's all that exists of these. So I'm sending that right now. Get that confirmed and sent over. And then once that's sent, bring it up on the other computer over here, where I just go to the transfer section, look for the most recent. I mean, you can look yourself, anybody, if you want to look up fulfillments and see what's going out. You can. Sure. That's the nice thing with wax. Total transparency. All right, so I'm going to show you now. Oh, I messed it up after all that talking. I brought up the wrong scene. There we go. Congratulations. All right, Rexinator, there it is. Control the Message, number 72. Ultra rare. See that? 200 total of these exist. That's it. This one's yours. Congratulations. All right. So we're going to have one more match to round things out. I'm going to close the queue. The queue still has one more competitor, of course. Again, congratulations on winning that Control the Message ultra rare there, Rexy. So I'm going to go to this scene and make sure I do this in the correct sequence and not get. Let's see. Oh, it helps if I hit the end game. That's why I have that thunderstorm sound in the background. Okay. So now I'm going to make this go with a full screen. We'll bring this up. And I'm going to go ahead and type in that code. All right, Zeal will be ready to go here in just a moment. And this will be the last. I guess I can take down the button there.
Warsaken.
Well, you're welcome, Rexy. Thank you for playing. Thank you, everybody, for watching and playing and participating. Having people to play against makes all the difference, especially great people like y'all. It's a wonderful community with Warsaken. All right, so let me make sure I've got the. I'll hit enter on that. Okay. Oh, I should have probably hit next as well before I got to this point. I knew there was one thing still to go. There we go. Okay. I need to also make sure I write this down. By write it down, I mean type it. Okay, so I have myself caught up on that. You have the match there, just the one building card. Not the best starting 8, but I'll take this over trying a mulligan, so we'll go with it. 6. Okay, this will work out. Oh, well, that's a lot of intel. Oh, my. All right. Two and two with the architectural plans and control the message. You wouldn't think the gold effect on this would look as good as it ends up looking. It's beautiful. This card is for a horrible thing being portrayed, depicted. Beautiful artwork nonetheless. Let's go with that and say, all right. What kind of deck is this you got here, Pickney? Oh, that's really cool. Well, thank you for listening. I know that sometimes when I have to do work where it's just, you guys have to lock in and doing coding or that sort of thing. I'll listen to sometimes people on Twitch in the background when I'm working on stuff. Baseball, here we go. Control the message. Although, do I want to play this? Actually, I will. Normally, I don't go for the make the opponent discard 3 option, but here I will, especially with so many intels out there anyway. Because when you only have 8 cards to start with, it's a bit of a harder choice. So I don't want to bounce. I'm just bouncing the 1. That would be, I think, less effective than doing it like this. This forces your opponent to discard 3. I still have 1 more action to go for the turn, and I'll play a Terrifying Storm. I've done some baseball broadcasting in my career. Did a lot of it in college. University of Evansville Aces. I called games at Vanderbilt's old baseball stadium and Vanderbilt's new baseball stadium. Evansville played here in Nashville my senior year. It was really cool. My brother was never much for radio, but it was like it's a one-off. Nobody else was able to come down from Evansville to call it with me, so it was cool to get to call it with my brother Matt. I was like, 24 years ago at the old baseball stadium. And then a few years ago, I called a high school game over at Vanderbilt's where they had a highly touted prospect that was slated to go to Vanderbilt until he was a first-round pick in the MLB draft. And so he went pro instead. But he got to play at Vanderbilt's new stadium. I say new, it's not new anymore, but new compared to the one I called a game in 1999, or really the entire series. So 2 of a kind there for the Force. Yeah, I'd love to do that. Calling a tournament. I mean, my career has been making things make sense to people in short, not sound bites, but like taking complicated stories and making them to 20-second news stories that make sense to people. And don't leave out too much of the important stuff, although that was always a fight. Okay, tough one here with a roll of 6 and nothing really to make of it here. So, let's see. I've got the Terrifying Storm out there. I don't want to be bringing it up just to play it back out. Let's see. I mean, this is a nice card right here. Only 50 of those. But it was actually distracting me for a second there when I started jumping like that. So this is a tough one here. Okay, let's see. If I play a weather, that's One, if I... Let's see. You know, I'm going to actually... Yeah, I'll leave the weather. Don't pull the weather. So I'll play the second Terrifying Storm. Now I'll do something that I don't commonly do, but I will here because I think it makes sense to. I'll pull the pair of assassination attempts off the board. That gives me 3 actions to go. I still have 2 spots open, so I can fill one and not have that 4th one clogged up if I need it. And it's not the 3 of a kind that I'd like to have out there, but play a pair of W1-MGs. That's 3 sets of 2. 1 action left, and I'll just forego that one and end my turn. It would be interesting if there's ever some sort of a spectator mode for Blitz, or some way to watch it back or to do live look-ins. Like if there's a tournament that I'm not in, but like for any of you that are familiar with NFL Red Zone 1, oof. I'm going to not use the action, end the turn. It's a 2. Or even if it's something where it could be shown after the fact from both players' point of view. There's 3 of a kind with the weather, so that's going to mean an extra turn for my opponent here. 1 action to go for this turn. It's a building card. And then with the extra turn, a roll of 3. So you've got the weathers out there. Oh, there were the 3 of the kind, and there were the 3 that I sent to the discard pile via the... Whoa, no. Don't do that. Oh. Just trying to get away from the opponent's discard pile over there. 4 sets of 2 out there. That weather dropping in 2 deep is interesting to fill up that 4th spot. My turn. 6. All right. Play the Terrifying Storm, and that'll give me an extra turn. I have 2 of those out there already. I will take the extra turn. Still have 5 actions to go for this turn. I'll play the W1-MG. Makes 3 of a kind. With a port. So my opponent's down to 3 territories. 4 actions to go for this turn. We'll play the triple D24I.
Select target.
Care Island. And no, I didn't have a WMD there. I was just peeking ahead. Okay, 1 more action I could take here, but I'm not going to. Or will I? Yeah, I should actually. But I'm not sure if this is the play. We'll play 1 assassination attempt. And now we'll get the next roll with the extra turn. It's a 1. Well. That's it for my turn. It's a roll of 4. So again, this is going to be the last match of this broadcast. And I'll face the task of trying to put together the early part of the broadcast, and then when the computer went haywire, meld that with the rest for a complete video for YouTube later. 3 of a kind with a force to take out a territory, and so I'm down to 3. 3 actions to go for my opponent. Okay, well, I can play the assassination attempt. That'll allow me to bounce one each of my opponent's cards over here.
Select target.
Yeah, that's a cool looking card. I know I keep saying that, but that's because it's true.
Select target.
Even the ones I see a lot still look cool. Blinding Sandstorm is a good choice, especially for beginning players. It stands out in your deck. Okay. I'll play 1 John Ryder in my turn. Oh. So my opponent rolls a 3. There's 2. The Blinding Sand looking like a gold card. It kind of does. And especially, like I said, for newer players that won't probably have gold cards as many. It's something that stands out that... it looks great, too. It's not just like, oh, we just painted this one orange. Very impressionist. No, it's actually beautifully, beautifully drawn. 6. Okay, let's see what this gives us here. Okay, we got the WMD. And I'll have the riders. I'm going to win the match if I do it in the correct sequence, I believe. So there are 2 territories left. Use the WMD right now. It's funny with these. I really do like to enjoy it just for a second, just to look at that. As far as the level of detail, it's really something. So we'll go 3 of a kind there with the WMD.
Select target.
Well, you know the 2 that are going, the last 2, Mount Optania and the vast hinterland.
Compromised.
It helps that this game has great sound as well. Okay, and while I could play any number of cards, the only smart option here is to play the pair of John Riders. Go with the 3rd that's already out there. Take out the opposing leader. And sorry, Zoff. Good game. All right. Well, good game. Good game there, Zeal. All right, so I guess I can take the cue down for now. As usual, I had an absolute blast playing Warsaken Blitz. Thank you so much, y'all, for playing. This is not a prime time spot for playing Warsaken at 1:40 a.m. Eastern time, and yet, again, it's noted there are people around the world that love to play this game. People keep all sorts of different hours. I'm living proof. And it's a great game to play. It's a great community of people. I'm excited to be part of it. And I look forward to adding even more to the wheel for next time. Gave away 1 ultra rare here tonight. We have that loot pack. And those loot packs, can't get those anymore. With your loot, they sold out this morning. But I'll have some opportunities coming up, I think, with prizes people will really like. I'm glad there are so many other people that are excited about this game and help get me excited about and help me to learn about it. And I really think as people understand and learn how Warsaken Blitz works, once you understand the various categories and understand morale, it's easy to pick up. It's fun to stream. And I think Twitch is going to be a huge positive advertisement for Warsaken here going forward. And it's going to be really fun to see how that plays out. I can't wait. And it's just going to get better from here, I think. Just wait until we have the full game ready to go. I'm not sure at all how that would work for live streaming. And yet the creative forcing type in me that is always thinking of crazy ideas could possibly come up with something, but I'm sure the game developers have ideas in mind. They've been able to put together this wonderfully entertaining game, and I've enjoyed playing with you here tonight again, live on Twitch, NashvilleLou Live. Oh, that's very interesting. Hey, Rexy, that loot pack might be yours sometime. Thank you all so much for watching. That's great. That's really something, Mama Muffin. It really says something to the strength of the community, willingness of people. Because I'm sure for some people, this isn't going to come as naturally as to others. I mean, as a broadcaster, easy for me. For somebody else, maybe not as much. But there are people that can speak a lot of different languages, a lot more than I can. And I think that's going to be helpful as well. I can explain things in English, and others can explain them much better in other languages than I could ever hope to do. But it's a fun game with a great community, and it's really cool. It's really cool. So many thanks for everything you've done to help support the community. Thanks to you all for taking the time to watch here. It's been a blast. Some old Warsaken Wednesday streams. Love to see them. Yeah, send me links if they're up, if they're anywhere. If you can send them. Love to check it out. I enjoy, as a broadcaster, I enjoy seeing how other people approach it. So everybody's got their own different style. And while I had years and years of the TV way, whatever company I was working for, learning their style, where every company thinks their way is the only way, whether it's any number of companies I've worked with in the past. So there's that. But this is so much fun. This is it's easy broadcasting when you enjoy what you're doing and you're getting to spend time chatting with great people who share your passion in a great game like this. And I think the best is yet to come. And I can't wait to see what happens next. So thank you all so much. That's going to do it for this broadcast of NashvilleLou Live. I'm your host, Lou Pickney. Thanks for watching. See you next time.